안 돼! 오! 윤서! 윤서!
반짝이는 눈빛 눈이 부셔 매일 날 감싸주는 손길.
Yeonsung, what on earth is going on? Han Yeonsung jumped in to save himself, but ended up getting hit by a thick iron bar, and Yeonsung, who was bleeding profusely, fell down. Han Jin-tae was shocked to see Yeonsung bleeding and embraced him, shedding tears. He had thought that he could just leave and go to the hospital, but he never expected his actions to lead to such a serious accident. Han Jin-tae realized in that moment that if Yeonsung were to die, he wouldn't be able to live even a single day. He finally understood Kim Mari's perspective and deeply empathized with her. He now fully understood the feeling of losing a child and felt as if the heavens were punishing him for what he had done to his wife. Han Jin-tae held Yeonsung tightly and said, "I will definitely save you, so don't worry. This father will protect you no matter what." He then looked up and told Uri to quickly go to the emergency room and bring back a bed. Fortunately, the accident happened right in front of the hospital, and thanks to Han Jin-tae and Chae Woo Ri's first aid, there was still a glimmer of hope that Yeonsung would survive. When Kim Mari heard the news that Yeonsung was injured, she rushed to the hospital in a panic. Seeing Han Jin-tae standing in front of the operating room, Kim Mari became angry and asked, "Who do you think you are to be here? You kept my son and me apart for 25 years, and now Yeonsung is in a life-threatening situation. Why did you have to go to the construction site in the middle of the night and cause Yeonsung to get hurt? Why does our son have to lose his life while trying to save someone like you? If anything happens to Yeonsung, I will never forgive you." Han Jin-tae heard Kim Mari's harsh words and stood there with a guilty face, unable to say anything. Chae Woo Ri also felt sorry for getting injured while trying to save Yeonsung, and he was in a state of panic in front of the emergency room. Han Jin-tae struggled to speak and said to Kim Mari, "He lost a lot of blood. There might be a shortage of blood during the surgery, and he might need my help. I won't leave until Yeonsung wakes up." Han Jin-tae pleaded desperately with Kim Mari, and Kim Mari, who believed that the most important thing was for Yeonsung's surgery to go well, allowed him to stay and sat down in a daze. Just then, a broadcast announced that Yeonsung's blood was running low during the surgery. Han Jin-tae tried to arrange for an emergency blood transfusion, but he heard a shocking story from a nurse and stopped. The nurse, who knew that Han Jin-tae and Yeonsung were not biologically related, found it difficult to speak, and Han Jin-tae couldn't believe what she was saying. He asked again, "What are you talking about? Are you saying that I can't donate blood to Yeonsung? I am his father." Then a doctor came out and explained that Yeonsung's blood type was different, a very rare and unique blood type of type O without AB or H antigens. Han Jin-tae, who had never considered the possibility that Yeonsung might not be his biological son, looked at them with fierce eyes. Already burdened with the truth, Han Jin-tae felt as if the heavens were punishing him for his action, and he angrily asked, "What kind of nonsense are you all talking about? Can you really say such absurd things when the hospital director is in pain and undergoing surgery? I can't believe the ridiculous things you are saying." Meanwhile, Kim Mari and Chae Woo Ri went to donate blood for Yeonsung, and with their help, Yeonsung successfully completed the surgery. However, his consciousness did not easily recover. Upon hearing the news of Yeonsung's accident, Jin Na-young and Jang Yoon-ja rushed to the hospital in shock. Jin Na-young sat down on the floor crying loudly and asked, "How did this happen overnight? Why did someone who was perfectly fine suddenly end up like this?" Knowing that Yeonsung was seriously injured while trying to save Chae Woo Ri and Han Jin-tae, Jin Na-young confronted them and said, "What were you thinking? What made you create this situation when we just had a baby and couldn't even see the father's face? Why is Yeonsung lying here because of you? Just yesterday, I was kicked out of the house And now, the situation has completely reversed, and I'm yelling at my family. Jang Yoon-ja also started to intervene from the side. Seeing this, Han Jin-tae and Chae Woo Ri were surprised, but they couldn't say anything due to their guilt. Jang Yoon-ja and Jin Na-young secretly went out to discuss what would happen if Yeon-sung were to die. Jin Na-young had a shocking thought that it would be better if Yeon-sung died, as she, as his legal wife, and their unborn child would inherit all the property. Jang Yoon-ja, who realized Jin Na-young's thought, said, "But he is still your child's father. It's not right for him to die. It's better for him to somehow survive, isn't it?" Jin Na-young firmly shook her head and said, "Absolutely not. That person will never acknowledge it, and if our child is born, he will take away the custody rights and won't even let me see the child. If that happens, I would rather die under the Nakdong River. So even if he dies, I won't be sad. That person and our child who is just like him made me suffer and kicked me out. I can't stand this." Jang Yoon-ja understood Jin Na-young's strong determination, but she thought it was too much. However, she also came to the conclusion that it would be better for Yeon-sung to die and for Jin Na-young and their unborn child to inherit all the property. But just as they were having these thoughts, Jin Soo Ji happened to overhear everything and recorded their conversation. Jin Soo Ji believed that even Yeon-sung were to wake up, he should never meet Jin Na-young again and that he shouldn't give a single penny to someone who had such terrible thoughts. If Yeon-sung were to end up like this and Jin Na-young became the beneficiary, even in heaven he wouldn't be able to close his eyes peacefully. Meanwhile, Kim Mari, who heard the rumors that Han Jin-tae was not Yeon-sung's biological father and got angry, went to confront Han Jin-tae and said, "How can you react to every little humor? Don't worry, because Yeon-sung is your child." Han Jin-tae understood Kim Mari's concern and agreed. And if Han Jin-tae still didn't believe her, she suggested getting a genetic test. However, Han Jin-tae didn't think it was necessary and said that it wasn't something he should do to his son who was lying there. Meanwhile, Jin Na-young took advantage of the moment when Yeon-sung was lying down and smoothly integrated herself into the family, pretending to be a family member. But Soo Ji couldn't bear to see Jin Na-young's behavior and told her firmly, "You should just go home now. You're not really worried about your husband, and you're not sad or comforting anyone. I know what's in your heart, so stop pretending and go back to your house." After hearing Jin Soo Ji's resolute words, Jin Na-young became angry and couldn't bear it anymore. Jin Soo Ji stopped recording and played the tape for Han Jin-tae, Chae Woo Ri, and Kim Mari to hear. The recording contained the shocking conversation between Jin Na-young and Jang Yoon-ja about how it would be better if Yeon-sung died. Kim Mari was so surprised that he collapsed on the spot, while the family was engaged in a fierce battle trying to keep Jin Na-young from leaving the hospital. Yeon-sung, seemingly reacting to the commotion, began to twitch his fingers slightly. Han Jin-tae was the first to notice the slight movement and hug Yeon-sung, starting to talk to him. Yeon-sung struggled to open his eyes and look at Jin Na-young. Jin Na-young approached with an expectant expression, wondering what Yeon-sung would say. Yeon-sung, with a great effort, uttered a few words, "Leave our house." Hearing Yeon-sung's words, Jin Na-young let go of the last thread of hope and returned to her own home.
'Cause you are beautiful.